Hello my cosmic dragon friends, welcome or welcome back to the channel. So wonderful to see you again. I've been guided today to do a collective love reading. I knew I wanted to do a love reading about 20 minutes ago. I didn't know I was going to do a reading today, but here we are. I thought it was going to be a pick a card reading. It's not, it's going to be a collective. So not all of the messages may resonate for you, but I think there will be some messages for most people in this reading. It's going to be an interesting one. There's some interesting vibes coming through. There's an interesting theme of father healing as well, healing the father wound or wounds to do with fatherhood or your father, the relationship with your father or your father's relationship with their father. And I was guided before I watched this to actually listen to a group SRT healing by my very good friend Caroline Cousins, which I will link in the description below if you feel guided to listen to that, to actually do some healing on the father relationship for yourself. Because that is one that can really hold us back from love and relationships. So we're going to start with some tarot, some oracle cards, and then I've got some other interesting decks down this side and down that side, and we'll just see where the energy takes us. So I'm going to pop those to one side over here. We're going to start with this beautiful tarot deck, which is the Midnight Magic, which has got lots of mushrooms on it. And you guys remember, I'm sure if you're not new, if you are new to the channel, then this will be the first time you're hearing this. I am an intuitive reader, so I don't always have the traditional meanings of cards, and that's just how I work. So don't come at me. Remember to like this video if you enjoy it. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so that you never miss another reading, because I am aiming to upload a lot more. Okay, another thing that I had to do before starting, as I was sitting here praying, clearing the energy, was I was very drawn to my rose essential oil. This is a rose dilute because I can't afford rose absolute because it's absolutely too expensive for me. But I knew I needed rose oil for this reading, so I brought the energy of the rose oil in. And it's a shame it's not smelly vision, because it would be lovely if you could smell it, but if you're very intuitive you may be able to smell it. So anyway, or maybe you have some roses in your life, or maybe you've got some rose perfume on. So connection to roses, connection to father healing here. Let's get going. The cards are all over the place. Let's see where we're going to start for you, my lovely cosmic dragon collective. The Chariot, the Seven of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups. Interesting. 7, 7, 8, 8. I'm liking this numerology already. This is very interesting. See if I can move the light here so you can see that a bit better. It's shining a bit, isn't it? Reflecting. 3, 4, 9. I was hoping that'd be 5. That would have been fun, wouldn't it? But we've got 7, 8, 9. So there is a bit of counting in the right direction. 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. There's counting. It's almost like we're growing. It feels like progress is being made in our love lives collectively right now. Progress is being made, even if that progress is healing yourself, because that is so important to have happy, successful romantic relationships, to heal ourselves. It's probably the most important thing we can do, is to do our own healing work. Okay, so let's just have a look at these beautiful cards. Coniferone cap, the Chariot. Isn't that an interesting mushroom? You can really get lost in these images. They're beautiful. This one's so mysterious. And the Chariot is about speed and about charging forwards and about being in control of energies. I nearly said in control of charges. Isn't that interesting? Maybe you are in control of charges. Maybe that's a word that's relevant to you. There are no mistakes in readings, only things that my spirit guides put in my mouth. But this is so mystical. I love this. It looks like it's nighttime. It looks like there's spiders' webs, and it's this mystical, magical, almost a neglected, forgotten energy that wants to charge forwards here. Maybe a part of you that you'd forgotten about, or that was neglected, that wants to move forwards now. So maybe this is to do with some healing that you've done or are doing at the moment. And there is a part of you now able to wake up again, now able to reactivate in your life. With this eternal light mushroom on the Seven of Wands. Isn't that lovely? This suggests to me that it's actually one that maybe glows in the dark. I don't know, maybe it does. Maybe that's why it's called that. Maybe someone can tell me, because I don't know and I don't have time to look it up right now. I'm doing a reading. But I'm loving this energy, this kind of glow in the dark energy. It's like it never died. It was always here. This light was always within you, even through your difficulties, even when you felt you had to pull back from other people, perhaps to do your spiritual work. And with the sevens here, you guys knew I'm a numerologist if you've been around my channel for more than 5 minutes. 7 is a very interesting number. In numerology, we call it the number of the mystic. The energy I get from this is feeling apart from others, feeling like you're different from others, as very many mystical people do. People who are very intuitive can really feel different to others. They can feel a little bit set apart from others. Perhaps it was difficult for you to make friends when you were younger. Perhaps you've always felt different, weird. You know, maybe you were labelled as being the strange person, the weird kid like I was. I'm okay with that. But there's a sense of separation, leaving something behind, something that you had to leave behind, which you are now reawakening within yourself, something that you had to neglect, put to one side, leave behind, and that is now coming back forwards again. And this is what's making an impact on your relationships right now, on your romantic and platonic relationships. I would say all relationships, not just romantic, or this is intended to be a love reading. These messages can apply to friendships if that's more appropriate to you, or to, family relationships as well. Romantic love isn't the only type of relationship that we have or experience in this lifetime, of course. And the 8s here, now this is fun. Number 8, the blob. It's called the blob. That's pretty funny. I have to say there's definitely some humour coming through with the 8 of Pentacles. And I want to say with this card, it is about hard work and achievement with 8s, and about keeping going, and about success, but success that you have worked towards. So it feels like you deserve this success that's either here or about to come in, because these are slightly in the future position for me. The way I read generally is left to right. The past tends to be over this side of the board. The future tends to be over this side of the board for me. It does change around, but generally that's how my guides tend to position cards: past, future, kind of present-ish in the middle. Shaggy ink cap, again, that's hilarious. I'm sorry. Now I've got Shaggy in my head saying it wasn't me. 8 of Cups. Oh, I apologise. 8 of Cups. Okay. 8 of Cups is interesting because that is about leaving something behind that you no longer need. So there's definitely this sense of forwards movements with going from 7, going to 8. Oh, there it is. And I feel like if there is somebody in your life that either you're with or you're interested in being with, it feels like they may be mirroring you. I feel this could be, it could be a twin flame or soulmate relationship that you're inquiring about, some sort of divine counterpart, some sort of soul connection. Not everyone resonates with twin flames. I think it's quite a dubious title. I'm not totally sold on that idea. It's a useful thing to call it, but I disagree with some people about how to define twin flames, if I'm perfectly honest. But don't get me started on that. You're not here to hear me rant, or maybe you are. Maybe that rant will be for another day. But it does feel like an important relationship that we're looking at here, either one that you're already in or one that will be manifesting soon. And it feels like you're mirroring each other, because look, you're both at 7 and then you're both at 8. Isn't that interesting? It feels like mirroring going on here. So you had the same experience. You're both at 7s, both at 8s. Maybe you have had very similar experiences in your relationships in the past. You know, maybe you had issues with your father relationship and you're a woman. Maybe the person you're interested in is a man who had a problem with their mother relationship. It could be that kind of mirroring. It doesn't have to be male, female. You know, it can be however. Sexuality, gender really doesn't matter here. Whatever resonates for you, but it feels like this person of interest, your person, is mirroring you in their growth, which is wonderful to see, because we're seeing this personal growth happening here, which is really beautiful. And I want to say complementary here, as if you're mirroring each other, working together almost on a soul level, even if you haven't been aware of it. But I think some of you out there, my more intuitive watchers, you probably have been aware of it. You probably know that you're mirroring each other, that you're making progress together, spiritually being alongside each other, even if you're not actually alongside each other in the 3D, in physical life at this time. So you may not even be in a relationship, or you may not be in a relationship yet. Maybe somebody that you still have your eye on, that you have that connection, or maybe you just sense them. Maybe they haven't showed up yet. It really doesn't matter, but I'm going to refer to them as your person. So, okay, come down to the bottom here. What have we got? We have the false morale. which is Gerometer esculenta. Interesting. I don't know what that means, but I do enjoy pronouncing it. Three of Swords. Okay, so the Three of Swords generally is about heartbreak, false morale. I want to say, I get the words led up the garden path, like you or your person or both of you were in previous relationships that led you in the wrong direction, or would have led you in the wrong direction if you'd stayed in them. Maybe one of you is still in a connection that is leading you in the wrong direction. And I just accidentally spat on my card. That's interesting. I never do that, but maybe that's a message as well. Maybe it's somebody who disrespects you, who literally spits on you. I mean, not physically necessarily. I mean, that might happen, which is pretty gross. But yes, this is the heartbreak card. It is the card of difficult relationships and possibly a third-party energy. And by that, I mean it could be a love triangle. It could be that you are in love with somebody who is married or in a commitment, in a relationship, or perhaps you're the one that's in a relationship, but you're interested in somebody else and you know it isn't right. So there is, or maybe both, because again, you're mirroring each other. So it could be true for both of you right now. There's a very strong mirroring energy here. So there are difficulties here. And with this insect, I can't quite make out what it is, but it looks almost like an upside down cockroach or something. There's a very kind of parasitic energy. So it feels like one or both of you may be in quite a parasitic relationship at the moment. Maybe somebody is sapping your energy, sapping their energy, draining you, and it just isn't quite right anymore. And that's a real shame. Yeah, but the energy doesn't feel too sad. Despite that, the energy doesn't feel too sad. I feel almost like pragmatic. I feel pragmatic about it, almost like, oh, well, that was the wrong direction. I'm ready to take a new one now. Like the difficult emotions surrounding this may be healing, or they're going to heal relatively quickly for you and or your person here. So I think that's a really positive sign. So our next card, Four of Swords. Wow, the snow fungus. What an interesting thing we're looking here. It almost looks like a bird's head with a beak there. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. How curious. And what looks like a dandelion. Again, I don't know if it actually is or if this is just part of the fungus. Yeah, we have got dandelions here, haven't we? Fascinating. Dandelion clocks. What time is it? What's the time, Mr. Wolf? For some reason I need to say that, so there could be a connection to childhood here. That's a game we used to play when I was little. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. There could be a connection to 4 o'clock. Okay. Interesting. Snow fungus. I mean, snow is about being frozen, emotions being frozen. I'm taken to my own deck here, the Angel Wings Oracle, where I have a card called Ice, which is about things being frozen and not being able to move forward. So it feels almost like, because this is so central, this card is placed so beautifully centrally on my desk right now, right in front of me, right in the middle. This feels like the present position where we are right now. We're not quite moving forwards just yet, but we are getting ready to do it. We're getting ready. We're transitioning from 7 to 8, but we're not quite in that forward moving energy just yet, but it is coming. We're just having a little bit of a rest before the next phase. So it could be a Mercury retrograde period when you're watching this, or it could just be a moment of pause. It could even be the winter when you come to actually watch this, although I'm filming in the summer. It really doesn't matter. This is a timeless reading. Whenever you find it is when you're meant to find it. But yes, there is this sense of pause right now, but it's a solid pause on number 4. Number 4 in numerology is a very grounded number. So there may be a reminder for you to ground your energy here, to make sure you're grounding, shielding your energy, making sure that energetically you're keeping up your energetic hygiene, your spiritual hygiene. I did mention my deck, the Angel Wings Oracle. So it's a deck that I created, which is currently only available digitally, but you can find it on my website. The link is in the description below. You can find it on angelwingsholistics.com. You will find the link in the description, and you can go and pick a card anytime you need to, absolutely free. So please do have fun with that. Do enjoy my deck. It's there to help. It's there to serve. So moving on to our last tarot card, number 9, 9 of Wands, which is an interesting one. The Poison Fire Coral. Oh, isn't that interesting? Podostroma cornudamai, probably. For some reason, I want to say Nostradamus here as well. I don't know why, but there's something about this word here. Podostroma. Podostroma, I don't know how you say that. I sounded ridiculously posh then, I apologise. I can't help it. My parents brought me up to speak with a ridiculously posh accent, and I spent my whole life trying to tone it down and sound less posh, and sometimes it just comes out when I'm not paying attention. I'm one of those people, you know how it is, and my friends, I feel like I can talk to you, and I hope I can. I hope I'm not annoying anyone. If this is going to annoy you, just fast forward about 30 seconds. If you don't want to hear me chat. But you know how when people drink alcohol, sometimes their natural accent comes out, and if they've been putting on an accent the whole time, you actually hear the real one when they've had a few drinks or they're under the influence, for example. And I just saw 1515, which is hilarious that number should show up because that's the devil, which can be about substances. Hilarious. But for example, if I drink alcohol, not that I really drink or get drunk, it's not a thing I'm particularly interested in, but if I do, I sound posher and posher and posher because my real accent comes out. It's so embarrassing. Anyway, Nine of Wands. Okay, so Nine of Wands, wow, it is defensive. It's a defensive energy. We've got, because it's wands, we've got the flowers matching up here as well with the Seven of Wands. And it is this progression 7, 8, 9, but it's almost like at the 9 we get a little bit scared. In numerology, when we reach 9, we know we're reaching the end of the cycle. Now, we learned everything from 0 to 9, and we've almost achieved mastery of this particular cycle that we're in. And then we have to go to 10 and start all over again. And there can be some apprehension that comes in there. There can be some fear of starting a new cycle. And with the wands, I feel this is an energy of resistance, not wanting to start the new cycle. So there is some fear, and this is connected to this resting here. Maybe I'll just rest a little bit longer. Maybe I'm not quite ready for this new cycle yet. So one or both of you may not be quite ready, maybe resisting this new relationship, maybe lying to yourself, lying to other people about what it is that you actually want. Maybe you've stayed in a connection for too long. Maybe they've stayed in a connection for too long that's really out of date and you should have moved on from by now. I don't want to say should, because that's not really fair, and I'm not here to should you. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. But it feels like one that perhaps you know, or you feel that it's past its sell-by date and you really want to be moving on from it. But there is this sense of resistance, and don't worry, that is normal, and it is natural when you reach the end of the cycle. It is a little bit natural to sort of look back and feel wistful and think, well, maybe I don't want to move on to the next one, just before we do find the courage and the strength to move forwards. So my voice nearly went then. That was interesting. All right, let's see what else we've got here about you and your love life, your person of interest, or the next person coming in. Okay. Don't otters look like weasels? Isn't that interesting? So my otter here looks like a water weasel. But again, mirroring each other. You look so similar. I feel there's this energy of mirroring each other here. So we have the wolf and the rose hip, guardianship. So there is a... I was going to say protective energy, but it feels a little bit defensive over here. The otter and cat tail, peace, and the weasel and pine, introspection. Okay, let's see what else wants to come out. We have the owl and hop, wisdom. The mouse and buttercup, innocence. And the rooster and sunflower, communication. There it is, finally. And on the bottom of the deck, we have this lovely cat and lavender, independence. Cat and lavender are two things I have in the garden right now. Maybe you do too. Excuse me. So, hiccuping. Right. These rose hips around the wolf. He seems annoyed, this wolf. I feel there is anger to, and I want to go into the past a little bit here, so it could be unresolved anger and irritation, because you know how rose hips are very itchy when you open up the rose hip and there's like those seeds inside. And when we were children, if you were really naughty, you might get a rose hip, open it up and put it down someone's back, like down their shirt, and they'd come out in a rash, which was a really horrible thing to do, but some children did do that at my primary school, just to annoy another kid, you know, with this itchy herb that you could put down their neck, which was a very nasty thing to do, and some people got in trouble for that. Obviously, I didn't do it because I'm not nasty, but it was a thing that I was aware of and we all knew that we shouldn't do because it was mean. But there's like, this wolf is like irritated. Look at his body. He looks like he's sort of contorting himself, or his fur looks like he's been chewing at it, like something's irritating him, like he's annoyed. And there is this energy of being annoyed. What number have we got? 24, 6, Master Builder number. time to move on and leave something behind, but he's too irritated, he's too busy looking backwards. So it's possible that one or both of you have spent so long looking backwards, looking back in anger maybe, and this could be connected to a father relationship, something that you haven't been able to move on from perhaps. Not necessarily the father relationship, it could be a distorted masculine energy in your life, in their life. It could be a relationship that they were too stubborn to leave because they wanted to cause the other person to suffer like they did, which is not smart, but hey, you know, we're human, there's no judgment here. So the otter and cattail is about finding peace and leaving that behind, because the otter isn't even looking in that direction anymore. The otter is in the present position here, right in the centre of my table. So what number have we got here? 39. So 39, 12, 3. Yes, very much coming back into order on 39, 12, 3, coming back into order. And we're at the end of a cycle with 39 as well, about to move on to a much more stable one at 40, where wisdom is actually leading us and helping to guide us, manifesting our new blueprint for the new cycle. The next card, the Weasel and Pine, introspection. Again, it's another 9. Look at all these 9s that keep showing up. We're definitely at the end of a cycle here, my friends. We're definitely at the end of a cycle, which is really good because it means there's a new one coming, which is so exciting. So it feels like a new beginning is coming for you in love. So it doesn't necessarily mean a new person. It could be a renewal of an existing relationship moving into a new era. It could be somebody that you've been waiting for, somebody you've been waiting to move towards you, or to come back perhaps. Or it could just be a new person coming in, but there's definitely this new cycle that's indicated here very clearly, and with someone that you mirror so closely. It's such a divine, beautiful connection. You're so similar in many ways, but also so different, because one of you carries the feminine energy and one of you carries the masculine. And with the otter, because obviously the otter spends a lot of time in water, it feels like this one would be the feminine energy, this one would be the masculine energy. And again, gender has no influence here because we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. Which, you know, I mean, I'm a woman, but I do tend to resonate more with the feminine energy. You know I have a balance of both, but I do consider myself a divine feminine. You know, that is my divine gender, if you like. You guys know what I mean. Anyway, whereas you get some men, for example, who also identify more with the divine feminine energy, and that's okay. You know, that's who they are. We're all different. The owl and hop, wisdom on 22, very emotional number. This is about emotional healing and emotional intelligence here as well. Perhaps there were some relationships in your past where you almost felt drunk on love, I want to say, with hops, because hops can really knock you out. The smell of hops when they're brewing beer can knock you out, literally, you know, out cold. And the owl is about wisdom. I want to bring in the energy of goddess Athena here as well with a beautiful owl. And I'm just being guided to tell you that I do actually have an owl spirit guide who's literally sat on my shoulder nudging me at the moment, hitting me with a wing going, talk about me, talk about me. Okay, so I'm talking about him. He's lovely. And he would like to talk about owls and owl symbolism to you as well. So please do look out for our beautiful feathered nighttime friends. There could be a message for you from owls, or you may resonate strongly with the owl totem animal, or with an owl spirit guide. So do pay attention in your meditation if one pops in. It will definitely have a message for you. Hops, very interesting. So there could literally be a connection here to brewing. Oh my god, I can't speak. Brewing beer, for example, or there could be a connection to drinking, the pub, some sort of connection there between you, or maybe you made bad decisions previously when drinking, because the subject of alcohol keeps coming up, and I don't normally drink. Okay, I'm not much of a drinker, so I don't normally talk about it. It's not something that tends to be in my mind, but it keeps coming in, so I'm going to put it out there because for some of you that will resonate. So the mouse and buttercup, 0 innocence, and that's slightly into the future. That's very near future, is this new beginning at 0, which is so exciting, because when we go from 9 we go to 0 first. Remember, we go to 10, which is a 0, and then we go to 11, which is 1. The Mouse and Buttercup, this beautiful sunny new beginning, which is very hopeful, very abundant, but we must still be careful and not too foolish, because buttercups are actually quite toxic flowers. They look beautiful and they look lovely, and they'll reflect a golden light onto your skin if you hold one under your chin and say, do you like butter? Why am I being so childish today? There's a real fun childish energy, like inner child energy coming through for me today. So there's definitely inner child healing coming through here. There's such a fun vibe with you guys. I know it's you guys who are watching who are doing this. The Mouse and the Buttercup. So yes, enjoy the beauty of life, have fun, but also because we are starting this new cycle, you know, this isn't your first rodeo. This isn't your first time at life. This isn't your first lifetime. This isn't your first time in love. I feel you've got wisdom and you do know what to do. You do know how to move forwards with wisdom here. The wisdom of this card is what we're taking into the new cycle, what we have learned. We will no longer be knocked for six by romance. We will no longer be swept off our feet in an unhealthy way. Our emotions will be more balanced in this new cycle. What a great message. Okay. And the Rooster and Sunflower, communication. Here it comes. Here comes your communication. What's L? Oh no. Is that 50? Is that 67? I'm going to say that, no, 47, because it's XL. The 10 is before the 5, 50. So I think L is 50. I apologise if that, geez, can't speak. Apologise if that's wrong. I think that's 47. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We've got the Rooster and the Sunflower. So all of a sudden, these yellow flowers are a lot bigger over here. So we started out with little yellow flowers that were a little bit toxic, and now we've got big yellow flowers that are actually nourishing and provide us with food and beauty. Because you can eat sunflower seeds, of course, or use sunflower oil. It has many uses. You can put it in your car. You can cook your food with it. Wow. Rooster and sunflower. I'm not saying put sunflower oil in your car, don't sue me. I'm just saying you can actually use vegetable oil for diesel engines. That's a whole other conversation. Don't do it if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, so yes, and it's a glorious energy here, very sunny. It kind of evokes the card from the tarot, the sun, for me here with this wonderful, beautiful rooster. Look at his beautiful plumage. Seems very pleased with himself, and he's looking up. He's looking up at these two mirroring each other. So it feels like the universe is bringing in communication, and it looks like he's looking at the feminine. So it feels like maybe the masculine will message the feminine. And if you're the feminine watching, I feel you will get communication from your person of interest, or your new person coming in. It's coming. And on the bottom of the deck, we did have the Cat and Lavender, independent. So it feels like being freed from old patterns with a number one, being able to put yourself first in the right ways. This is what I feel here. And lavender is a very calming plant as well. You'll know lavender essential oil, for example, very, very calming. And I'm drawn to amethyst stone here as well, which is also very calming, absorbs negativity, in the colour purple. So they may be things that you're drawn to. We've got a little amethyst over here on our table, a funny little looking one here. So next we are going to ask for some messages. We're going to ask how your person is feeling about you, or will be feeling about you. Some messages here. Let's have a look. Oops, that one wants to jump out. Okay. Any others? Any more for any more? Coffin, picture, love, beautiful, and clock on the bottom of the deck. So coffin, new beginnings, liberation, born and reborn and transition, tragic endings. So there is this ending here. There is this energy of leaving something behind, similar to the death card in the tarot, definitely starting a new cycle or leaving an old cycle in the past. And we have the opportunity to actually have new beginnings here, to be reborn in some way. Then we have picture, looking at pictures, missing you, nostalgia, make new memories. So it could be a case of making new memories with a newcomer, or it could be making new memories with somebody that you're getting back together with. You know, your story is going to be different because this is a group reading. Take what resonates for you, take what makes sense for you. This could be starting again with somebody from your past, or just making new memories with somebody new. And then We have the love card. Beautiful. Just confirming our beautiful, beautiful relationship coming in. Unconditional love, self-love and wholeness, affection and attraction, selflessness. And what I feel here is this feels like, that one sat on the card I called the Divine Feminine, which is the otter, and that one sat on the Divine Masculine, which was the weasel. Okay, that was just my interpretation of these cards today. And it feels like the love, the healing, the wholeness is coming from the masculine. I feel like the masculine had to do a lot of healing here to catch up with the feminine. And the feminine, maybe you've been waiting for them, because there's a nostalgic energy with the picture card here, and it says the word nostalgia on it. Maybe you've been waiting. Maybe you've been waiting for them to catch up with you, energetically, metaphorically speaking, or to come back, and you knew it was going to happen. You knew it was inevitable, and maybe they didn't. But they know now, and they are coming into your life, or coming back into your life, or coming back around for a new beautiful cycle with unconditional love, with higher levels of love and spiritual understanding. And as I was holding the deck, it kind of fell open here, so I'm going to actually take these cards as well. We have sunglasses, we had clock that was on the bottom, so I'm going to pop that here. And we have wedding rings, which are twin flames. Okay, I'm going to take that because it's there, and then we're going to stop. Okay. So sunglasses, watching, looking, perception, stalking. It could be that you've been aware of this person for a while. You could have been watching each other from a distance for a while, not quite sure how to proceed, particularly if you were both with other partners. You definitely wouldn't have known how to proceed necessarily. Wedding rings, so union and marriage, soul connection, everlasting love and devotion. So with this falling on the 0 card, which is about new beginnings, trust, stepping into something with innocence. But I want to say the innocence of the master, not the innocence of the ignorance. Someone choosing to be open to new experiences rather than genuinely not knowing anything about life. I'm not explaining this well. It reminds me of something I heard from a Buddhist text one time about how we should step forwards with an open heart. You know, we're not stepping forwards with ignorance, we're stepping forwards with the 0 energy of the open heart that is open to love, but is also carrying wisdom and experience. So this feels like the relationship coming in could be a serious one for some of you. It could actually go long term. It does feel like with love and wedding rings here, this feels like a potential for a very long-term connection. And if it's not this one, it will be leading into that for you. I always say, add the caveat in your manifesting, either this person or somebody better. You know, this person could just be the warm-up act for the real thing. So, and then twin flames, yin yang and balance, union and duality, complement and polar opposites. So this person could literally be mirroring you, but they could also be your opposite in many ways. Your birthdays may be 6 months apart, something like that. You know, you could be in an opposites attract situation. You could just be very different, coming from different cultures, different countries, different life experiences. You know, there could be differences there. Or it could just be that this is indicating a very strong, very important spiritual connection, because that's what I'm feeling here, a very important spiritual connection coming in. And we're going to go here next. I'm going to shuffle them off camera because some of these pictures would not be YouTube friendly. There are some images that could get me a strike. I really don't want that. So what message do we have here for you? Life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You will be surprised where it leads. Oh, that's beautiful. And I think this energy may help to take us out of the inertia that you or your person may have been stuck in recently. If you felt like you couldn't move forwards, or you were waiting for them and they haven't moved forwards, and you just know you have unfinished business, or you know it's going to happen with this person and they just haven't stepped forward, and maybe you don't understand why. They're coming in. The cycle is shifting. I think this is the message here to say that the energy is shifting. Secret admirer. Someone has deeper feelings for you than they are letting on. Yes, I think your person may well be hiding how they're feeling, particularly if it's a new relationship or something that's never got off the ground before. It could be a crush situation. There's some deep, deep feelings going on here, and that might be why they've been so quiet. It might be a little bit overwhelming for the masculine in this connection. The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. That's beautiful. So this to me is confirmation that the cycle is shifting. We're leaving the past behind, and feelings are going to be revealed, going to be shared, going to be communicated, but all in divine timing with this clock card here. Needing time, cycles, takes time to heal, progressing, but we are making progress. I'm absolutely loving this energy here. So let's get some other messages from your person. Let's find out what they have to say to you, what their higher self has to say to you at this time. Oops, one just dropped out. We have, my favourite part of each day is being with you. Oh, that's lovely. Very, very harmonious relationship coming in here. Very loving, which is interesting because sometimes twin flame relationships are not harmonious at all. They can be extremely disruptive. They can force us to heal, go through all kinds of things. But this really isn't the vibe that I'm getting here. You are one of the best decisions I have made in my life. Okay, so I feel like this could be a relationship that, you know, it may not have started yet. So this could be their higher self that's already picked you, that wants you to know these beautiful things. Okay, so we're going to get some other messages from my own message. These are like love message cards, which I created. I've written on this one. So let's see. This one, they're pink and blue. Let's see what they've got to say. Oh, okay. All right. Oh my. So we've got 2 blue and 2 pink. Loving the balance. Loving this energy. So I don't feel good enough for you. Oh, that could be why they've held back. They didn't feel good enough. Maybe they didn't feel they had enough to offer. I need to heal. Yes, that's what we've been seeing in these cards. Healing going on, particularly from mother-father relationships. Oh, excuse me. Throat chakra. Hello. So it feels to me, with my throat chakra kicking off, making me cough like that, out of nowhere, it feels like maybe they haven't been able to verbalize how they feel. I've been in love with you for a while, and they haven't been able to say anything. That's so sad. And look, we've got mirroring numbers, 42, 24. There's mirroring numbers. Couldn't make this up. And I want to get physical on 44. Ooh, this is a passionate connection coming in. 2 blue, 2 pink. Love it. Mirroring numbers. This is beautiful mirroring energy. This is such a fun connection here. This is such a beautiful mirroring connection. It does feel like an important soulmate coming in. An important soulmate doesn't necessarily mean a super long-term relationship, although there's a lot of potential for that here. Important relationships last as long as they are supposed to when we have a spiritual connection. So we are going to ask for some advice for you. What do you need to do right now? We're going to use these wonderful cards from my good friend Ejni. FYIFY. I'm not going to say what that stands for, and it's follow your iconic F, yeah. So, okay, let's see what advice your higher self has for you right now. I love these cards. These are very positive message cards. When you follow your F, yeah, everything aligns in your favour. Yeah, it does. Repeat, I make decisions easily, swiftly, and I stand behind them. Wow, I feel like the person's about to get really decisive and step forwards and be quite vocal about, because my voice suddenly got really strong, the cough disappeared, I'm fine, my voice was struggling, my throat was dry, and now all of a sudden my voice has got much louder. And I feel as well, when you decide what it is that you want, it enables them to mirror that and know what they want and step forward. So it may be that you need to make some courageous decisions, and that energetically can lead them forwards. Stop trying to let brain talk you into someone else's F, yeah. Yes, don't live your life by somebody else's rules, by what somebody else says is the right thing to do, what somebody else says is the thing that you have to do, the way you should live. Maybe it's tradition, maybe it's a religion, maybe it's your culture, maybe it's your family. Oh, well, you have to do life this way, you have to do relationships that way, they have to look like this, you have to follow this set of rules. You know, if you get married, you can't get divorced, you have to stay with them forever, you know, whatever it is. It feels like a brushing away, a pushing away of old energy, a sweeping of old energy, of old ways of doing things. And so now we're going to get some letter tiles just to get some more confirmation for you guys. Sorry if that's a bit loud. Okay, what have we got here? We have A, E, M, got an N, another N, got Anne, anemone, L, Laney, Lacey, R, O, U, a black tile. That can be anything you want it to be. Okay, that can also be confirmation of something mysterious there. W. Let's get a couple more. Okay, another L. Willow. I. A, E, I, O, U. We've got all the vowels. Someone with a lot of vowels in the name. Another N. Another O. And another E. Lots of vowels. Okay. I want to say release. Man and men. Woman. It's all coming through here. Man need woman. It's almost like caveman energy coming through, like really decisive. Yes, this is happening now. Wendy. Ramona. I get the name Stephanie for some reason as well, although that's nothing to do with the letters here. Widow. Maybe someone's a widow. Beautiful. Okay, let's get some charms. Let's see what other messages or confirmation we have here with our charms. Let's see what we've got. We have a letter Y. Little pink letter Y. I'm going to add this over here to the letters. So why? Maybe they're asking why. We have an anchor. There could be a connection to the seaside, to boats, to shipping. I live next to a body of water. We have, oh, I love this, Cupid's arrow. Look at that lovely arrow with the heart on the end. This does feel like a true love connection. Very exciting. And here's the heart that goes with it. I always put these two together like this. Okay. Oopsie daisy. Oh, these are stuck together. Let's see if I can gently take them apart. Maybe literally feeling inseparable. Wow. Look at that. Once I said the word, they fell apart. So we've got our beautiful pentagram here. So some of you could resonate with magical energy, higher magics. You may practice higher magics, lower magics, witchcraft, witchy kind of pagan traditions. We've got a ship's wheel here. So again, there could be a connection to the sea, to the ocean, to boats, to the navy, for example. Or just steering your boat, indicative of being the captain of your life. Got an adorable unicorn here. Maybe you're the unicorn. Maybe you're a bit different. Maybe people say you're a unicorn. People say that about me. Oh, look at this. Lovely. Is this a swallow, a swift? One of those summer birds that moves pretty fast that we've got zooming around at the moment, catching the insects. Okay, but birds can also be messengers. We've got ballet shoes. Maybe there's a connection here to ballet or dance for you. Got a leaf with a little bite taken out of it, so maybe you're growing vegetables or fruits this year. Maybe there's a connection to plants. And a lovely rose. Isn't that lovely? I said right at the beginning the rose energy wanted to come in, and here it is manifesting in the form of a little rose. Okay. So thank you very much for joining me, everyone. Please remember to like, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you very soon. There's a beautiful connection coming in for us here, one way or another. I loved this energy. I've been so happy to read for you all again. I will see you all soon. Take very good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.